Hi. Hello. Here we are. It's Act 5, Scene 2. And Act 5, Scene 2 is just a little bitty scene to give us some background information as to why everything is going wrong. Okay? We just had the news delivered to Romeo that his wife is dead. And she's not dead, but he knows now that she is, or at least thinks that she is. And he's bought some poison and asked for pen and ink. Okay, so now we are at the friar's place, and we meet a new character, and he is Friar John. He's also a Franciscan monk. Okay, so let's go straight into it, guys.
Holy Franciscan friar, brother ho!
This same should be the voice of Friar John. Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo? Or, if his mind be writ, give me his letter.
Going to find a barefoot brother out one of our order to associate me. Here in this city visiting the sick, and finding him the searchers of the town, suspecting that we both were in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign. Sealed up the doors and would not let us forth, so that my speed to Mantua there was stayed.
Pause.
Yeah. Oh yeah, actually,
What did I just say?
Really relevant.
This is super relevant. This is the first time I've ever had to discuss this scene and actually had people who would understand what it would be like.
Yes.
So Friar John was wanting to get somebody to go with him to go deliver this message in Mantua, which back in those days it would have been a kind of a more than just a road trip. Probably had to ride or a horse or a donkey or something, and they had or walk a very long distance, and he just didn't want to go by himself. That's reasonable. So he stopped to talk to one of his barefoot brothers, another Franciscan friar working with the sick, and he was mistaken for somebody, or that let's find the actual phrase.
Suspecting we were both in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign.
So here they're dressed in their friar robes, and they are known to be people who help with the sick. They were mistaken for people who'd been in a plague house. Now, the plague of that time period, and in Shakespeare's time was quite prevalent, was the bubonic plague. And it was a contagious disease that they didn't understand how it spread. They didn't know that until much later, and it was very, very deadly. And they would quarantine people and keep them from going out and about and spreading that disease. We are currently filming this because we are quarantined, and we can't be with students in classrooms right now. And this is the first time in my life, and I think in the first time of the lives of anybody that I know, and I have a 92-year-old grandmother, that there have been widespread quarantines because of disease. So this is a reality of Shakespeare's time that we are now reliving. So if you were in a place where there was a known victim of a virus that was infected and it was a deadly disease, then you would be asked politely initially, but like with stern force, to not go into places where you might infect other people. And that's what happened to Friar John. He hadn't been exposed to the disease, but they thought he had, and they locked him up, and they wouldn't even let him send messages. So he had left a couple days ago with the friar's initial word, right after Juliet planned this whole pretend suicide thing or pretend death thing, and he didn't even leave town. He just got out of being detained right now. No message was sent at all.
Nothing.
Yeah, but interesting, because now even people, hopefully the people listening to this, they'll have a better understanding of what it means to be quarantined.
Whew. Should I go say?
I don't know. Let's get through this scene.
Who bare my letter then to Romeo?
I could not send it. Here it is again. Nor get a messenger to bring it thee. So fearful were they of infection.
Unhappy fortune. By my brotherhood, this letter was not nice, but full of charge of dear import, and the neglecting it may do much danger. Friar John, go hence. Go hence. Get me an iron crow and bring it straight unto my cell. I was like, iron crow, and bring it straight unto my cell.
Brother, I'll go and bring it thee.
Friar John exits. Now must I to the monument alone. Within 3 hours will fair Juliet wake. She will beshrew me much that Romeo hath had no notice of these accidents, but I will write again to Mantua, and keep her at my cell till Romeo come. Poor living corse, closed in a dead man's tomb.
Yeah, this is not good news. So he thought that he had sent a note telling Romeo when to come and get Juliet. Now, of course, his initial letter would have been sent with the date would have been wrong. She would
Tomorrow, it would be the next day, right?
So still, it's a mess, right? And he was hoping to hear back that Romeo was on his way back to help with this. And what he's finding out is that Romeo doesn't know anything's happening at all. And he asked for an iron crowbar, because he is now on his way to the tomb to go get her and bring her back to his place to keep her safe until Romeo can get there, because now everything's been set back.
So he's gonna have to break into the cell with that crowbar
and get the girl. Yeah, that's the plan.
All right, so
let's talk about our
iron crow
diary.
was definitely one of the words I had underlined there. Yeah.
The letter was not nice but full of charge. Meaning it wasn't just a pleasant no.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't. Wish you were here enjoying the beach.
No, it's like
Here's what you got to do.
Stuff is going down.
It was not a simple letter when it says that. It's not a simple letter. It had a lot of importance in it.
So in this part where Friar John is talking about here in the city, visiting the sick and finding him, the searchers of the town. The searchers of the town. Is that a plague specific?
Yeah.
They were, imagine,
there
humans
were people
that
was their job
is
to make sure that that was like part of like probably the city guard had a group of guys that were the searchers of the town that were making sure that plague victims and anybody who was exposed to them were separated. It was a kind of important. Whole towns were wiped out by the plague, and they had to have a system to keep that from happening.
Okay, and I think it's actually such a small scene that I feel like most of this is pretty.
But isn't it easy? It is a small scene, but isn't it interesting that Shakespeare threw that piece in? I mean, he had to close his theater down for months at a time during plague outbreaks in London, and so it was something that his audience understood. As like that could get you what. So when he was thinking of as a plot device, well, I got to make it so that Romeo gets held up and doesn't make it, and he's already done a few things, like he makes Capulet move the date, and the letter is in transit somehow. But what would work for that? And so it came to mind, and it would naturally be something that quarantine got in the way. You got held back because of sickness, and you couldn't leave or go anywhere.
Yeah.
And now that I'm experiencing being in quarantine, you understand that you can't always do what you want. Yeah.
Fascinating. So in this, we just have Friar John and Friar Lawrence, and Friar Lawrence is obviously like, tell me, how did he respond? Is he on his way? What's going on? And
poor Friar John's like,
yeah.
And he didn't even know it was important. I mean, he knew he had a message to deliver, but there was no reason to tell him, this is super important.
Yeah, and it's secret.
And I think that Friar Lawrence would have been like really casual about it. Like, I need to, get this message from Romeo.
Because otherwise it'd be really suspicious and strange.
Yeah, so,
but then also at the end, Friar Lawrence is like,
I don't know. I've been teaching this for going on 18 years now, and so many kids think that Friar John is to blame for the tragedy in some ways, because that's one of our common assignments is to like determine who caused it. And Friar John always comes up, and like, dude was delivering a message.
Now we have a better understanding.
He was just trying to help, and he is not allowed to go anywhere. Doesn't know how important the message was. And immediately, as soon as he gets released from being held against his will, he comes back and says, I'm sorry, I didn't get to send your message. And so how was that his fault?
That's not. Yeah, agreed. He has a really good excuse.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and poor Friar John, though. I mean, Friar Lawrence at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Because he has to handle everything on his own when she wakes up.
Yeah, but
he created this whole situation.
He did.
He made this happen.
And he was the adult in this scenario. So
he should have already planned to be there.
Right?
What,
like, no matter what.
Why?
Why is this like, oh, dang, now I need to get a crowbar?
He doesn't know if she's going to wake up, right?
No, he should get to him right now.
Yeah.
What is he doing? It's a very strange reaction. He just wanted to, like, not have to do all of it. He wanted to distance himself a little bit, probably.
Yeah.
This is shameful. He's ashamed, I think, and it is shameful.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And
all right,
that's the end of that one. So
we only
now-
have one scene left in the entire play.
It's a
And since
doozy.
we all know that bad things happen in it, we should probably like really get ourselves ready for the final one.
Let's do it. I'm
Okay.
gonna go do push-ups.
Right, to prep for.
Oh, I thought you meant literally get ready.
Yeah, we have to get ready. We have to train for this.
Right.
Like everybody has to read like 5.
I'm gonna
like,
do a
parts.
I'm gonna do a crossword puzzle. Sharpen my mind.
Okay. All right. So we should probably hit a button.
Oh, I can do that.
You wanna do that?
Okay, so see you for the final scene of the final
Okay.
act.
So tired.